Principle of elections is one man, one woman, one vote.
Article 61 of the Constitution mandates the Electoral Commission to organize, conduct and supervise elections and referenda. It is supposed to ensure that regular, free and fair elections are held. In the wake of the preparations of the 2026 general elections, the need to procure voter verification biometric machines to do away with ballot stuffing and identification of registered voters was key to the need to hold a free and fair election. However, a growing concern has risen regarding the overall organization of the process. The BVVK machines failed to function in the presidential and parliamentary elections due to the technical glitches, forcing officials to rely on manual registers to facilitate the process. This in turn posed a challenge as the exercise was affected in certain polling stations due to untimely availability of manual voter registers. Candidates who participated in the presidential and parliamentary elections also raised concerns about voter intimidation and late opening of polling stations.
All my supporters did not turn up because threatening violence and then the police, this police doing nothing about it.
First I expected a free and fair election, but now I'm beginning to wonder when the Electoral Commission chooses not to cooperate, they come late.
Captain Francis Babu, a former member of parliament, says there is a need to review the entire democratic process of the country.
Time has come for you to start questioning. These Western models we are copying, are they okay? Or do we need to modify them? Do we need to look at our own culture? Because their democracy came out of their culture. Do we need to look at our culture and look at their democracy also and mix them so that we get something that suits us?
He states that we have adopted a system we may not fully understand.
We are adopting somebody else's model. And therefore, we have not given our people enough civic education. And civic education does not mean voters' education. It means generally, how do we behave towards an election? What is an election?
However, the Electoral Commission suggests for a unified contribution by all respective stakeholders in order to achieve a free and fair election.
A free, fair, credible, transparent election is a function of all the stakeholders that are involved in that election process. Political parties have to play their role. Candidates must act in accordance with the laws. Police must ensure that the electoral laws are complied with by everybody and that there is no lawlessness and disorder.
In regards to electoral malpractices like ballot stuffing and rigging, the spokesperson of the Commission, Dr. Julius Mucunguzi, urged the public to report all perpetuators of electoral malpractices to avoid undermining the integrity of the process.
If anybody is caught with any sensitive electoral material meant to be used for voting at any time, those ones should straight away be handled or reported to police to begin investigations to determine how they got them. Quickly, don't sit on that information, straight away run to the nearest polling station and report those people. That is why it is very critical that the agents of candidates who are seated around the polling station should be able to say, this person has already come to vote.
However, at the center of malpractices are electoral polling officials and law enforcement bodies who in one way or the other accept to be compromised by politicians, either knowingly or unknowingly. Mucunguzi acknowledges that the biggest problem of the Electoral Commission are stakeholders who play to the gallery and remain non-cooperative.
Acts of stakeholders, people who don't want to follow rules, whether they are candidates, their agents or their supporters. That has been one of the biggest challenges of actors refusing deliberately to play by the rules, to follow the rules.
Pauline Ongoyet for UBC.